My mother loves to tell the story that she took me to see a parade, and as the drums went by, I said, "Mommy, the drums are beating in my heart." I don't recall when I started playing percussion at age 6, planning to be a professional timpanist someday. I kind of wanted to drum for Motley Crue or Def Leppard. And then later I got fascinated by jazz, and I thought one day I would move to New York and live the jazz life. But the timpani just always kind of kept falling in my lap, for whatever reason, from when I was very little to when I was in college. And as a result, I developed an affection for the instrument. Playing an orchestra is all at once maddening and exhilarating. I would say there's always at least a certain amount of anxiety on the table, being this solo voice. The sound that we produce is the only sound of that kind in the orchestra, and so that is a tremendous responsibility. I have 600 pairs of sticks and mallets, and I don't use anywhere near that many, but over the years that's what I've acquired, and every stick has its own way it sounds and the way it feels in the hand. It's a bizarre instrument, to express your musical voice through. And for me, I get particularly frustrated at times. I hear these beautiful wind solos. And I think, I want to be able to do that. But then, when's the last time we heard the oboe at the end of Beethoven 5, Eugene? My instrument is extremely dynamic, and so I find myself having been attracted to activities in my life that are of the same dynamic nature. Cycling is, a natural activity that I would enjoy. And this city in particular is one of the best places in the world to enjoy it with its very dynamic terrain. I love the grind of a long, steady climb and the thrill of a descent. And I find myself, especially in my racing days, the competitive nature of racing was just another, component that I got to add to that dynamic experience. There's the saying that the mind will give up 1,000 times before the body does. You really stretch the limits of what you're mentally capable of. I learned that it's easy to be overwhelmed by competition, and it can take the focus off of yourself and what you're capable of. And even as a performer, in trying to pursue this career, the odds seem so stacked against you. But if you just make the music, if you just ride the bike and trust yourself, then you open up the pathways to growth much more fully. The work is hard, and the standard is high, and the highest standard applied to us comes from ourselves. And so it's easy to forget how lucky we are to have accomplished, this insurmountable goal. I have to stop often, and I will in concerts. I will stop, and when I'm not playing, when I'm taciting, and I'll look into the hall and try to connect with where I am and what it is that I get to do. And to get to an orchestra like San Francisco is a crowning achievement, and it's emotional if you think too much about it.